Yeah, we're
There's an
playtesting.
invite in the chat to my mod. We're going to play test or run through at least a few rounds, just to because I made some dramatic changes to how the game plays. So I want to make sure. I want to see if it's broken or not.
See a name change as well.
A name change?
Oh, I thought there was a name change
For this game in particular? No. And I don't know how the map works and stuff. Anyways, yes. So there's an invite in the chat, in the lounge chat, if you want to join.
Okay.
So grab a pawn from this bag here before you pick a color. Oh, yeah, it just so happened you chose purple.
Oh, that wasn't by choice. That was very much intentional.
Oh.
Stu knows his color.
So you grab one, Alex, and see if you can. So now you're actually should be orange, but I mean it doesn't really matter that much. But what this tells us is what your starting character is going to be. So I'm going to start out as the ranger, and we start on this in the city.
Is there like a randomization element of what your starting character is?
Yeah, that's pulling this pulling this thing out of the bag is so you're supposed to actually pull out of the bag. Like I mean, this is the nature of the way tabletop simulator works or whatever. You've picked a color before you, but the randomization, because that determines the turn order. Because as you can see, red goes first. It goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. That's the turn order. So
well, in all intensive purposes, because Stu and I don't. Like, I definitely don't remember the game. I know Stu hasn't played it. It is still random, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't really matter that much.
But no, I was just curious if that was on purpose or if that was just the luck of draw.
Yeah, that was just, that's just luck. Yeah, for sure. So we keep those out. Okay, so what we're doing is you're sort of creating an adventuring party. This is sort of like, you're in a D&D fantasy, kind of environment or whatever. And there are 6 different types of characters, right? There's a fighter, a thief, a bard, a ranger, a cleric, and a wizard. And so we each start on it with a unique character. And then throughout the game, we're going to add people to our party, right? So and then we'll also level up. So there are like level 2 and level 3 versions of each character. So one of the actions you can take in the game is to level up. Okay, so there's a level 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3 for each character. So, and you can just search through the deck to get the character. This will be a lot more useful than that. This just kind of gives you the location names or whatever, but
gotcha. Just for terminology.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, ooh, cool. Tells me what I'm looking at.
Yeah. And so as you can see, we're going to be we have dual purpose cards in the game. Let me see if I can get oh, they're all okay. I should shuffle. Let's see if I can get oh, okay. No, I don't want that one. Oh my goodness. There we go. There's another one, and then there's one. And nope, that's the same one. Oh, I already got an upgrade. Oh, there's Yeah, so basically there's 4 actions. The cards are double use cards. So on the top of the card is an item. Okay, so that's and one of the actions you can do is equip your character with an item. So you just actually we've I'll have to turn off the toggle. Not the toggle, but I'll have to turn off the snap to grid in a sec. But the idea is you would essentially put that under your card, right? And then now
I remember this.
Your character is equipped with that item.
Mm-hmm.
The other use of the card is to if you remember correctly, I used to have multiple actions that you could do with each card, but now I've switched it so that there's only one action. So the card has 2 things. It can either be an item that you're carrying, or it can be an action that you can perform. And these are the 4 different actions that you can do. Okay, so this is the upgrade. You can see there's the icons. The card has the icon at the top, so that's an upgrade card. You're going to upgrade the fighter.
So when you say this is a classified, like the 4 things I can do, what am I looking at when I can do a thing?
So that's the lower part of the card. Essentially anything in the light color. That's what gives you that's the action you can do. So you're either using it as an item, which is the top part of the card, or you're going to play the card as an action, and that's the lower part of the card.
Okay, I see. So this is essentially 2 separate cards.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
And then along the left-hand side, the top symbol basically gives you the icon representing the type of action you can do. The second symbol is the location where you have to do that action. And then the second in the cartouche kind of thing gives you these are the items that you must be carrying to be able to perform that action.
Action. Okay, so
location
action.
And cost.
Location and cost.
Okay, so that's so this one is to upgrade. If you have a fighter in your party, you can if you have these items, you can go to the capital and you will and you'll be able to play that card, and then you can upgrade to the next level, that character. This one here, right? This action is a quest. So what you got to do is you got to go to the castle, collect a gem, right? And then it tells you in the little description or whatever, bring a gem to the capital. So the action is quest. The location that you do the thing is the castle. And what you're doing is collecting a gem. If you have these 2 items in your party, and then when you bring that item to this gem to the city, and that you'll collect those for points.
What does a human do? So I understand for a gem I have to get a gem. Coin I'd have to get 4 coins, I assume.
No, you earn them. Right.
Oh, okay.
So the quest is bring a gem to the capital.
Okay, so this is an earning thing.
So this is like you get the gem at the castle and you bring it to the capital. And for now, anyways, because this map isn't big enough, and eventually these tokens will be big enough, and the map will be big enough that you're going to be bringing it to your area of the capital. Each one of the character types has their own area in the capital. So when you're in the capital, you're in that area. Anyway,
but so what I'm asking is how do I know that when I reach the city or the castle here, how do I know that I am picking up the gem?
That's what this card says. So basically, it says it's a quest. You go to the castle, and there's a big picture of a gem there.
Okay, so this icon is the quest icon. Where does
yes,
okay quest bring a gem? Okay, so a quest will always have a gem next to it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and the
Quests are
reward
gems.
is the gem. Okay, I thought that
Well,
was a.
yeah,
Okay.
because you collect those gems. Basically, you're bringing the gems to the capital. You're leaving them in your area of the capital, and then you count those each different gem that you have in your area of the capital, and you get points based on the different gems you have. So
Okay.
these are essentially the points that you're going to be getting here, and then these are the other points that you'll get. Hold on. Okay, so these are the main points, always static points, right? You get points for gems and then points per character level, 1 point per character level, and then you'll get points for the royal decrees, and that's what these are. So basically, you have the person with the most gold gets 10 points. The person second most and third most get the person with the most gems, the second most gems, third most gems, kind of get points. So
And
that's
what are these cards
that's
called again?
that's the points. What cards?
The quest cards.
Adventure cards,
Oh, okay. I just
I
wanted
guess,
to
or
reference that
items.
correct.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of call them cards and items, kind of interchangeably. So anyway, so that's the quest, and then the next thing is it going on an adventure, and it's always going to be one of these gray sort of inner ones. Basically, you go from the city through a wilderness to get to the hot locations, to the colored locations, and so you're going to go to this location, which is a goblin camp, right, which is here, and then if you have those two items, then you get 4 gold. Okay, that's it. So as long as you're in that location and you have those two items in your party, you'll gain 4 gold. You play the card and gain 4 gold. And then this one is getting a new party member, right? Recruiting. And so you have to go to the location that's affiliated with that party member, the green one, right? And it's pictured on there. So and then if you have those two items, then you can grab a new party member from the 6 available, but whatever the picture is. Okay, so those are your 4 actions. You can upgrade a party member, you can get a new party member, you can grab a gem, or you can earn some gold. Those are your 4 actions that you can do with the cards when you play a card. Okay. So on your turn, what you must do is 2 of 3 actions: move, equip, or play a card. So moving is simply just moving around the board, right? That's moving. Equipping is when you put a card underneath your character, right? So you're giving them equipment. You're right. They're carrying an item now. And playing a card is simply playing the card like I've just described for one of the 4 actions, the action depicted on the card. So so you're going to do 2 of those 3 actions every turn, right? Guaranteed, you have to do that. And then you on every turn you will also you may collect or sell an item, or which is a card. Okay, so there's going to be a display, like there's going to be a like a market kind of cards, and you if you're on if you're on a certain location like yellow, right, and then you can get a yellow card for free. But seeing as I'm on yellow and there isn't a yellow out there, but there is an orange, that's going to cost me 1 gold because it's 1 away, like on the cycle, right? So if I wanted to collect that, if I needed that item or I wanted to do that action, I could grab that card and pay 1 gold because I'm on the yellow. Okay, so that's, or you can sell an item. So basically, depending on if I had that orange and I was on a yellow, I could actually put that into the discard pile and gain a gold if I really needed one. Okay, so you can either collect or sell. Okay, and and then the other thing is that each character has its own special power. So on your turn, you can either use the character's special power, or you can reset all characters. Reset, so that you're going to tap them when you use their power. You're going to tap them, right? And then on another turn you can reset them. Okay, so you can only use the power, reset the. That actually should say characters instead of character, because you're going to be able to reset all tapped characters, or heal characters. That should say characters as well. So sometimes you're going to be gaining these little tokens, and they're going to be a damage to your character, and you have to spend like an action, like a turn, to remove them, or else you can't use that character. Okay, so that's so let me just kind of get this back. Okay, and I'm going to set out the market. So I'm going to have to cover your drawing there.
So, real quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have a written out rule set?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I only just came up with these rules recently.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing, like, I mean, yeah, I have a set of rules, but it's not for this game that we're just about to play. It's for the game that I just recently changed dramatically. So I don't even know if this works. So I'm not about to start writing down rules. Sort of if I don't even know if they're going to change like in an hour, kind of thing. So I tend to just make little cards and things. So what'll happen when you go onto a gray spot, like a wilderness type spot is what I call it, the wilderness. You're going through the wilderness. You will draw one of these cards, which will do two things. It'll give you the color. So if you want to collect a card, you can collect the card related to that color, or pay in relationship to that color. And then depending on which location you're in, right? Whether you're in the goblin camp, I'm in the goblin camp, so that means I have to pay 1 gold. If you have no gold, you don't go into the minus. But but if I was at the mine, then I would be able to immediately tuck or equip a character with a card, so without doing an action. So it's a bit of a free action. If I was at the ruins, I would gain one of those damage tokens, right? And if I was at the magic portal, I would gain 2 gold. So depending on where you are, depending on which card you drew, it'll be good or bad or neutral. Okay. And the portals, basically, when you go, and I don't even know how this works, if this will actually work properly, but the portals, you can go to any, if you go to here, right? If you move to here, then you're essentially here. So you're like the portals, all 3 portals are essentially the same location. So you immediately jump through a portal to get to where you want to go. What else is there? I think that's about it. So let's just, yeah. So the moving, right? So you can only move 1 space. So if you're moving from the city, you can only move to one of the gray spots. You can pay another gold to move to a new. You can pay gold for how many more spots you want to pay. But the way it works with the portals, you probably will only ever have to pay 1 gold to get to wherever you need to. That's why I'm not sure if that's going to work 100%. That's why I want to test it. Yeah. And one last thing about the city is that so you can always either collect or sell an item, right? A card from here. But if you're in the city, everything costs more. +1. So if you want to get a card, it's going to cost you an extra gold than it would have if you were out on an adventure. But if you want to sell a card, you're going to receive one more gold. So the way the cost, the benefit is that it's cheaper to collect cards when you're out wandering around, and it's better to sell them when you're in the city. But you can always do it in either direction depending on which one you want, and if you're afraid somebody's going to get the one that you're looking for and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. So I will go first because I'm first in line here. Oh, what we have to do now is each of us needs to draw 4 cards. And we're going to do a draft. So you need to determine, you look at your cards and you say, okay, well, what cards do I have? So your character comes with their own built-in symbols, their own items, and it's a either or scenario. So you have 2 items and you can use one of those at any given time. Right? And so you look at your items on your character, you look at the items, say, required for some of the things that that you might need, and you choose one card to see if those will work for you. And I drew shit. Okay, so
really quick, why did you draw shit?
well, I just didn't draw anything that related to my character or whatever. Hopefully you guys will pass me something.
And that would be because you have a green character and you didn't draw any green things?
Well, it's not even the green. I didn't draw any cards that would require one of my items that I'm already carrying. There's no synergy, right? I'm not seeing any cards within the group of cards that I have that are going to give me any synergy with my character. Essentially,
and what your character currently has is 3 bags.
No, it's above the above part here, like this part here. Your character is carrying the either or. Basically, you can only it's not both. It's one or the other at any given time. You either have one or the other item.
But like equipped.
So you always have one of those?
Yes, you always have one of those.
Oh, okay.
So let me think here.
So if I wanted to just lie and say, oh, actually, I was carrying the other thing.
Well, it doesn't. No, I mean, you can choose it when you're spending them. You can choose.
So once it's spent, how do we know that it has been spent?
Well, it's not spent. It's like I guess it's the same sort of idea as 7 Wonders.
I have not played that.
Oh, okay, that's surprising.
I have played that once a while ago. I couldn't tell you
it's a hugely popular game. I'm really surprised.
I spend all my time playing indie games.
Yeah, we play it. Basically, the way that works is that there's resources on cards, and so as when you're buying a new card, when you're playing a new card, you can only play like one card. You can only play one card per turn per action round, right? So it's not like you're going to go multiple round. Like the next time it's your turn, you can choose to use one of the other item. It's only at the moment that you're playing the card, you can choose which one of those 2 items is. And then after that, it doesn't matter, right? The next time it's your turn, you can play another card and use one of those 2 items.
So I can't. I have to choose on my turn whether not like on the turn, but during the act that I can either use my scroll or my trophy, but I can't do both of those in the same turn.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And no card will ask you to do that ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's always divided up, so sort of thing. So I hate drafting in. So I will. These are the ones that I'm giving to Stu, I guess. So, and I'm keeping one. So pick a card and move 3 along.
Pick one to keep.
Yeah, pick one to keep, and then pass 3 to me. Or 3 to Alex, I should say. Alex passes to me. Oh yeah, I heard the rain.
Let's roll, so I thought I'll get you that. It would be nice if you actually had your phone.
Oh, sorry.
Like text you. Did Simon text? Do I have to go pick him up? No? Okay. It's rural out there.
So I have like 3 castle things in front of me now.
Yep.
And what do
No,
those?
I gave. So, yeah, these ones. So you got to give me 3 cards.
Is this the back of them or the?
Yeah, that's the back.
Am I able to look at these?
No, that's not the way drafting works. You have to choose the cards that you're passing,
Okay.
and then look at the cards that you've just been given.
Oh, I didn't realize the back was this little icon. Okay. So basically, which one do I want to keep for myself?
Yeah.
So with my character, I probably want something that needs a scroll or a trophy.
Sure.
Or what is my ability? Replace items required to level up a party member.
Yeah. So if you want to level up, play a card that's going to level up a party member, and you're short one of the required items, then you can tap him and just use another item instead that isn't on the card.
Okay, so Stu's scroll is actually different than my scroll. His is open, and mine is
Yeah,
like
I
a
mean,
closed one.
I'm limited. The idea is that you're the cleric, so you've got a sacred scroll, and what his is a spell, essentially.
I just wanted to make sure those are actually different things.
Yeah,
So
yeah. One's open and one's closed. One's rolled up, right? And
yeah,
so yeah, the symbols for a wizard is a because you're calling the trophy. It's like a chalice.
yeah, the chalice. No, yeah, I saw the scroll. I didn't see the open scroll before, so I wasn't sure right away if those were the same thing or different.
No, yeah, different.
I almost need like a little like I like this key you have, but I wish they also included the
Oh,
these
I didn't
items.
think because there's no meaning to them, so I didn't think it was really necessary to name them like that. But I suppose.
Well, it's just a more of just like a glossary of like, oh, hey, this is actually there. Like, this is a scroll. This is a spell. Like, just to have that terminology in play, so that I can point and communicate more effectively.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, now we're cooking with gas.
And was that an ability that you did, or like why did we all draft cards like that?
No, this is how you start the game. We draft cards. Okay. We're gonna keep drafting cards.
Until when?
Well, we're gonna pick another card and then pass 2. And then we're gonna pick another card and then pass 1, and then we'll be done drafting.
Okay. So to start your game, you have pick.
Yeah, I didn't wrote it right the drafting down, but it's just drafting. It's pretty standard.
Pick character.
What do I want here? Well, I guess that's the best I can do.
And because this is a 3-player game, we do this 3 times.
Yeah.
With
Here's
1 less item each time.
yeah. So you should have 2. You should pass 2.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just making some notes as well. Okay, so now I have a choice. Which one is more beneficial for me, though? Well, I already have this one, so I'm gonna pass this along. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wait, did I grab the wrong thing? I think I just tossed you the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. There we go. Those were face down. The thing I was trying to give you wasn't.
Yeah.
Ooh, such a bright color.
Okay. Oh, terrific. Oh, yay. 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 Okay. So, and I guess I will. No, but I would like that. Hmm. Okay. There you go. Okay, one more. Thank you. Okay, so now I'll play. So the first thing I'm going to do is do an equip action. Darn it! I thought I'd change the toggle on those. Damn it! Make sure all your cards are not snap to grid.
All of mine are.
Okay. Because yeah, you can't do the thing properly. Okay, so there's so I'm doing 1 of 3 actions, right? I'm going to equip. Oh, and we should start. Each of us. We should start with 3 gold. Sorry.
Just for future stuff, if you ever need, there are blocks you can play into, or you can put in play, and those will actually be like snap points that you can actually have your cards go to. So if there's like a specific spot in the board that you want to snap, but you don't want the whole like table to be
Oh yeah, no, I know how to
gridlocked.
do that.
Yeah.
That's how these work.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Yeah. But I find snapping the grid also to be very useful.
It's very convenient too.
Yeah. Okay. So I did that, and then I'm going to go here and then here. I'm gonna spend. I want an extra movement, so I'll spend a gold. There's my 2 actions. I'm on yellow. Because I didn't stop. I didn't stop at the goblin camp, so I don't draw a card.
You're green.
It'd be crazy if I. Okay, so I don't want.
So what's the action order that you're doing? You
I'm
did
doing
your
one of these 3 actions. Perform 2 of 3 actions. So I moved
Got
I
it.
equipped first, and then I'm moving. I'm not playing a card this turn because I equipped and I moved. But now I can do the at any time during my turn. I can collect or sell a card. So I'm looking at the market here, and I'm seeing if I want to spend money to grab this orange card because that's the best I can do, or the green one. Yeah, I guess I can do. I'll take that one. Okay, I'm done. So blue's turn.
Okay. When it says collect or sell an item, like what is collecting an item?
Like I just collected.
Oh, okay. Because you did 1, 2, 3, 4. You did a quest,
No, no, it
or
has
you
nothing
did
to do.
this
It's
music.
this at any time during your turn. Basically, it's just a thing that you can do on your turn. You may or may not get a card from the
Ooh.
market on your turn.
Okay, and how much does one of these cards cost?
It costs nothing if you're on that cost me 1 actually. It costs nothing if you're on the right color. So getting this yellow for me,
Okay.
getting this yellow card is nothing. So it cost me 1 to collect the green card. Would it cost me 1 to collect the orange card? It would cost 2 for me to collect the blue card, and so on.
Okay, so buying and selling, and you can sell, which
And
gives
that
you,
same difference
yeah.
is from selling. So if I'm on yellow and I'm selling a purple card, then I'm gonna get 3.
Okay. And if you're in the city center, things are worth more but also cost more.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's sort of there's a little icon
Because I'm on a
there.
blue space, I could technically purchase a blue card right now.
Yes, you could grab that if you want to. Yeah.
And that would that cost me more?
No, it
Okay.
would be free.
Because I'm on it, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
right now.
that goes in
But
your.
if I wanted a yellow one, that would cost me more.
Yes.
Okay. And how much more would that cost with just 1 gold?
Well, it would be 2 because it's 2 away.
Oh, okay, 2 away from me.
Yeah.
This is not a space in the center.
No.
Okay.
Everybody, when you're in the city, you're in your own district.
Okay. So I'm gonna collect this. Feel these again. And I can't do a mission in here because I just have these are just visual icons. These aren't actual physical icons. So I have to move 1 space, pay 1 gold for each space moved. How much gold do I have? I have 3. Okay. And if I have 3 gold, that means I can move 3 spaces. Is there anything I can do? Okay, I could do this and recoup some of my losses. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Is that correct? If I go to the log cabin?
Yeah, that's what I did.
So I'm going to spend
just
these
1.
2
just
gold.
costs 1. It just costs 1 because you can always go 1. Move 1 space, and then you can pay 1 gold for each space more.
Oh, okay. Pay 1 gold for each space more. Okay. The wording's a little weird, but
yeah,
okay.
I was trying to figure out the best way to say that.
Yeah, no worries.
And trying to also stay on one line.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. It's always a battle.
Yeah.
But okay, so I landed here. So I've done my move, and now if I so equipping gives me those abilities or those like little symbols.
Yes.
But if I play a card, perform the action.
You don't have enough. You need a minimum of. Well, you need 2 symbols. All actions require 2 symbols, so you have to equip before you perform an action. Before you can play a card, an action card.
Okay, and because I don't have the second. Oh, I do have this though, but I would have to. Okay, so I have to do an equipped. So I'm
So
going to equip
basically, you're doing the same. Yeah, you can just place the card and then just press U.
you.
Like if you place the one card up above it. Here, watch. See if I do. Oh, see this card has a is toggled to grid. It needs to be turned off. Okay, so I place this on here. Press U and hold on. Press U and it goes underneath.
Oh, cool. Okay. And I think that's my turn because
Yeah, it is.
collectors.
You can only do two, and then now you can collect a card, but you already did that, and you can use your character's ability if you want. But
So I can at any time during your turn you may.
yeah.
So
You
could I
already
collect
did.
another green one though?
No, but you already collected at the beginning.
Okay, so
of your
that's a
turn
once per turn.
before you. Yeah.
Okay, use a character power, reset character, or heal character. Can your character die?
No.
It says heal character. What
Heal just means that you've earned one of these tokens. It just means that you've got one of these tokens on you.
Oh, okay.
And so now he's sick or whatever. He's been injured from going on an adventure. Basically, these cards give you those symbols,
Okay.
and you just have to take an action or a turn to remove it, so you can use the character again. That's it.
Okay, my turn is over then.
Yep.
So can you accumulate more than one of these?
Yeah, theoretically, if you were unlucky enough to go on that many.
So you basically just can't do anything while you have one of those equipped?
Well, that's only, yeah, if that's the only character that you have, then you have to heal that character that turn. But it just means that you can't use the power or reset like it on your turn at any time. You can remove one of those tokens, so it really won't hurt you significantly. It's just a little bit of a setback.
And how many times can I use my character's ability? Also just once?
It's tapped, right? So
Okay.
so when you use the ability, you tap the character, right? There's a little tap symbol on there, and then that's what reset is, right? That's untapping. So you can either use the character's power or reset the character. Essentially, but like I said, it should say characters. So the idea is you can reset all used characters, or you can use one character, their power. So
But
you
I
can
can't reset and use an ability.
No. You
Okay.
can either use the ability or reset, but you can't do both in one turn.
Okay.
Okay, so Stu, it's your turn. What will the wizard do?
Even the wizard doesn't know.
And does heal? What's the difference between a reset and a heal?
Heal, like I said, is removing one of these tokens from the character.
So resetting is just the act of untapping. Okay.
Yes.
So I could move here for free.
No, you can't move in the in the city. Like you're basically you're stuck there where you are, or you go out on an adventure. If you want a red card, you have to spend one.
All right, then I go here, and then go back here, spend a gold. Is that correct?
No, it's not. Because when you're in the city, you must be in purple. That's your district. That's the place where you live in the city. You can't go anywhere.
So
You're
the
not
city is
anywhere
just
else.
one. It's just like one of these circles, but
Yes.
these are just visuals so that you know that, oh, okay, you can just start in that spot. I can't go
Yeah.
to a green space in the city.
No.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, what a prejudiced city.
There you go.
And then equip is a free action.
Nope, it's one of the two. That's essentially a free action. You can equipping is one of the three actions that you must do two of. Right, there's that top line. You must perform two of three actions. So move, equip, play card, and then the sort of the free action, or at any time during your turn, you can collect a card, which you just did.
So I have to move.
Yeah, or you can stay there and equip and play a card if you happen to have a card that activates in the city, then you could stay there and do it. But
Okay.
if it's a city card that you're doing.
But I would need 2 items in order to
Yes.
activate.
Yeah, well, you theoretically, if you equip, right, then you'll have 2 items. You'll have whatever he's carrying and the thing that you just equipped.
So if I wanted to equip this, and then play this, would I be able to do that?
Yep, that's perfect. That's exactly. So you had 2 actions. You haven't moved. You're in the city. That's exactly what you do.
Okay, so what does upgrading do?
Basically, you go through, do a little search here, and find the level 2 wizard, and then just put him on top. And this gets discarded.
Which one's the level 2 wizard?
The one with the 2 in the top left corner.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Oh, okay.
It's just that with multiple players potentially needing, you can just put it on top. You don't have to get rid of the other one.
Oh, okay. And then this item goes away, yes?
No, you just keep it forever.
So I'm equipped to it for forever.
Yeah, unless you want to throw it away.
And how many items can you have equipped?
That's the bag.
So I can have 4 items equipped.
3, it says. Oh, yeah, 4 for the level 2. Yes, so you could have 4 cards. Yeah, I may have to change those numbers because, but yeah, that's.
Does the item equipped to me by default count as one of those 4 items?
No, it does not.
Okay. All right. I guess it's your turn again then.
My turn again. Okay, so we've now done a whole full round, so we're going to refresh the market. These down. There. Okay.
And how do you reset the market? You just clear it and then just lay out new ones?
Well, no, it's sort of convoluted, at least in my. But you get rid of the lower one, and then you bring the upper one down. So that row of cards or whatever, unless they're taken or whatever, it stays for 2 rounds, kind of thing. So it's not completely refreshed. Okay, so my turn now. What? Oh yeah. So my first move will be to play a card. Play this one. Right, that requires a song and a staff, which I have, and that gets me a new character in my party, a bard. Yay for the bard!
And items in the market are not replaced when we collect.
What's that?
Items in the market are not
Oh yeah.
immediately replaced.
Again, now I don't know how convoluted this will be but the way I want it to work, and if it becomes too complicated for playtesters or whatever, obviously I'll change it. But the way I want it to work is that the lower one doesn't get replenished when you add when you collect cards from it, but the upper one does. So whenever you do refresh the whole market and you bring this upper one down, it'll always be 4 cards. But the lower one doesn't get refreshed, doesn't get a new card added when somebody takes from that lower row.
Okay.
Okay, so that's action 1, and action 2. Let me think. Is there something? I am at. Chessbot. Yeah, I guess I'll get that guy. Place that. And I will move. And I will move to. I'm going to go a little adventuring. So I'm going to go here, which means just okay, so I'm going to show. Oh, I should have done that first, but there's no purple up anyways. Okay, so I'm on the camp. Up in camp. Oh, and it cost me my last gold. Oh, I'm going to have to sell. Oh, well. Okay, I'm done. Blue.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just making. Okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna. So I could purchase right now. Like I could collect. I have 2 gold.
Could collect a green one for free.
Can I play a card?
Yeah, that's one of the things you can do. One of the
Okay.
3 must-do actions. You can do 2. You must do 2 of 3 of those 3 actions: move, equip, and play card.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this card.
But you have to be on that location, though. You're not on that location.
Oh, I'm
right?
not.
So
Okay.
So you
I
have
thought
to move.
I
to
had
that
to
location.
go to the. Okay. And can we share spaces?
Yep.
Okay.
There's actually there's I should be able to yeah. There's the level 2 characters are based on sharing.
So now I can play this. Because I moved and
But you're
now
not there. That's this area here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see. Yeah, that's.
So it would cost you a gold to go there, right? So if you go there to the portal, which is essentially means you're here, right? Because the portals, and then you pay 1 more to go here, and then you can play the card.
Does portals cost any money?
Nope, they're free. You just walk through them.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the portals. That was something that was in the game previously, and I thought about. I just put them in there, but I'm not 100% sure about them. But
Okay, so
I didn't want to make it more difficult for people to go around. I wanted make
Would I
any
not be
sense.
able to just do this as well? Like if I just went 1 for my free, and then I did it 2, and then
Right to
3.
here? Yeah. No. When you go to the city, going back to the city isn't actually a move. It's sort of like it's a move, and it's like you're basically going to the city. It's not a through. It's not something you can go through.
Oh, okay. So I can't like leave the city.
It's still two. It's still two, anyways.
Yeah.
Right. So because you went from here, which is the same as here, to here, so that's still so it just cost you one gold to do that.
Yeah. So let's get rid of that.
And then you first, and then we flip an event card.
Because I
Okay,
landed on the goblin or the
The mine, and that's and you
Okay.
actually can tuck a card for free, as not an action. You can tuck a card.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will do. So many things to look at. Okay, so I guess I'll do this. Be very magical. There we go.
Okay, so and that location is considered blue for the collecting cards purposes.
How is that blue? Is that just something that you haven't updated the artwork for?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, this changes. Okay. And is this specific to this location, or is this
No.
all of the locations other than the portals?
In terms, no. Like every time somebody goes onto one of these locations and a card flips, it's a different color.
Okay. So the mine,
See, the
the
previous one was
ruins, and
and
the
the
goblin
goblin camp.
camp all are affected by this.
Oh, and and here too. It's where you stop. So you didn't stop
Oh, okay.
on the thing. So
I see. So the gray ones are where I stop.
yeah.
Okay.
And if you stop wherever you stop, then you draw one of these cards, and then the resulting effects happen.
Okay. Okay. And so now I get to play this.
Yes. Yes.
First try. I have a staff, I have a scroll. The scroll is free.
Yeah, doesn't matter. They're all free, whatever. They're all whatever they are.
Oh, okay.
So you just collect 4 coin now, and it's discarded.
Okay.
So I should maybe put this sort of.
Oh, that's the discard pile.
Yeah, I'm realizing it at least the way it is now, or whatever. It needs to be a little bit further away, so it's not considered part of the market.
Yeah, I thought that was the market for a second, so I was like, oh. Okay, so that's not the market.
I'll put it actually all the way over here. Okay, so collect your 4 gold.
Okay. I like my numbers like this. Okay, and so I've done a move. I have done a play a card.
And you played a card. So there's your 2 actions. And have you collected a card? Have you collected an item?
So because it's blue, which would normally be great because that would be cheaper, right? Or is that only affected on the city?
It depends on which card you choose, right? So green is 1 away from blue. All the others are more than 1 away from blue.
And
Right.
what are these little icons at the bottom? Or like, so there's the blue, and then I went to the mine. So, oh, that's
Yeah.
the tuck thing that you were explaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like a little candle from a distance.
Yeah, basically, it's a different there's those 4 outcomes. Essentially,
Mhm.
there's and those get changed depending on the card. So it's a different set of outcomes depending on the location. Each new card you do. So the next time somebody goes on a mine, it's not going to be tuck a card. It'll be maybe gain 2 gold or gain a damage or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so for collecting a card, it'll cost you 1 at least.
Yeah,
If
I
you-
might as well because I've got stuff. So I'm going to collect this one.
It was a red one,
Yeah.
right? So that's going to cost you 2.
Why would that cost me 2?
Because red is 2 away from blue.
Oh, okay. On the city.
Well, it's not the city. It's just a color wheel. Like basically, it's all based on the color wheel, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Okay. So and I'm on a blue technically.
well,
So
yeah. You're on the
purple and green would be 1, red would be 2, and orange would be 1,
3.
2, 3. Obviously, I don't want orange. Man, I guess I could just take the green and save a coin. I think that was my
Total cost you 1. Yeah.
okay. I think that's my turn.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Hey,
Like
purple.
use a character power, replace an item required to level up. And how do I level up the?
It's one of these actions. There isn't one out right now. Oh, here's one. This is the action, the level up action.
Oh,
Little
it's
soap?
the half moon
I think
arrow
all
up.
this-
Okay,
Terrible.
I see.
Yeah, so that's a great card for you. You're going to want to buy that.
Yeah. My turn is over, so it would be over to Stu.
Stu.
Okay.
And once Stu's done his turn or whatever, I think we can end it. I think I've seen everything I need to see. I think Stu's usually Cinderella at 9, I think. Right? If I'm not correct. Or is it
Pretty-
10?
No, that's
Fairly
usually
close.
Mike, but
Oh, is it?
So it says I can sell a card.
Yep.
And how do I go about that again?
You just discard, put it in the discard pile, and take the amount of money its value is, depending on the where your location is. So you
So it'd be
where are you? You're here. Oh, we needed to draw a card. Right?
I didn't do that on my previous turn.
Did you stop in one of those locations?
No.
Okay. Oh, it's only when you stop there. So you're stopped there. So now you're on the ruins. So the ruins give you can tuck another card, but so you could, yeah, you still have room if you wanted to.
Do I have to?
No. It's just something you can do. But unfortunately, it's an orange location, and you're not in the city, so you get no money for that.
I guess I'm confused by that.
If you're in the city, you'd get 1, but because you're on an orange location, so basically the idea is there's the farther you are away on the color wheel from the location you're in, the more rare the item is, so it has more value.
So each card is worth 3 by default. Am I assuming that correctly?
Well, it really depends, right? It's worth 0 by default if you're on the same location as the color card, or 3. I don't know where you're getting it's worth 3 by default. Each card is worth what it's worth depending on your location. So it has to do with how many steps away on the color wheel you are from the color of the card. So you're in a orange location, right? So this event card made that location orange.
And because it's an orange card,
It means so if you were to collect it, it would not cost you any money, right? So you're in an orange location, so orange cards, those types of items are plentiful, so they have no value.
but then wouldn't it be, if I were still on my space in the city, wouldn't it be 2?
If you were, it would actually be 3 because all sales get a +1. So if you had to just went back to were you in the city already? And
So
moved out?
prior to the move, or I guess if I was here,
Yeah,
and
you
then
could have sold that. You should have sold it before you left the city,
Mm.
right? So
Oh well.
It doesn't really matter, but you can go back to the city and sell it and then move out. That's fine. So why don't we just say that you sold it before you left the city, and you'll get 3 gold.
And I already equipped an item, so those were my 2 actions.
And you sold. So yeah, you're good. Okay, so that's it. Obviously, it's still rough and work in progress and so on and so forth, but I'm actually fairly pleased with how it played, because one of the biggest problems I had with this game was that it took way too long for people to be able to do anything meaningful, and I'm finding with regardless of any confusions or how things are maybe a little bit wonky still, at least from my perspective, it seems that the way it's playing now is that you're most times you're able to do at least something relatively meaningful, or work towards something meaningful every turn without it being too much of a slog, which is what it was in the past. It took way too long just to be able to play a card. I was worried that the values of the cards would be too low at 2 items because I had them previously higher, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, so thoughts?
There is a lot in this game. For like it's both simple but very compact. Which is cool. Like it's got like there's a lot of little elements. Like just the market is an element, and I'm trying to like break this down into its like different core components of, you have the market, you have the questing, and I think there's like once you start leveling up, there's going to be something with more interesting like play where like I have more units on the board doing stuff, or
no, you won't have more. You're only your pawn is one. You only ever have one pawn.
Just like one crew. Okay.
Yeah. It's like I have 2 characters in my party, and I still only have the one pawn, right? So you're gonna have more characters, which carry more items. So that they basically, the more characters you have, the more items you're carrying, the faster and more actions card actions you'll be able to do. And so on, right? It theoretically has a bit of an arc to it, but I haven't got to that point yet in the game.
I think one thing that could help a lot is compacting some of the information. So one thing that just jumped out at me is these cards, honestly, and like these cards will never affect 2 people at the same time, correct?
No.
Yeah. So correct. This case, I would just simplify this and just have a color mixed with one of these like little items. The reason I say that is because...
Oh, so it's not related to the location you're on.
Yeah, because it really doesn't matter what the item is, because I can never be in 2 places at once, and it'll never affect 2 people at once. So this information is kind of just extra. This sure. could just be simplified to these are now orange spaces, 2 gold. And you could still have all of the same randomness.
The same actions and the same randomness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That would just simplify that whole thing.
And I thought they were good enough. I didn't feel like changing them for this new version. So, but that's a good call. Yeah, I see that for sure. Similar to how I did that with the with all of the action cards too.
One other just UI UX thing with the item cards, and I really like how these become items that like you can kind of see above. That's really cool. I would keep that. What I would do is actually simplify the quest item, or like the, what is it?
With the type of action.
Yeah,
Right,
like the reward
but-
slash quest. I would actually merge the reward and quest together as like one big symbol, and then
Okay.
have a location and then the cost. So like I would almost like do it as a little like spiral where it's like you have reward and then slash the quest itself. Then it would point to this, which would be the location, because I know like I need to, like, this is the reward. I want the reward. That's the first thing I see. Rewards are cool, right?
Yeah.
How do I get that reward? I have to go to the location. What do I do when I'm at the location? I have to pay this cost, whatever this cost is, and then I get the reward. The actual title, the quest itself is not necessary. Like to, like the quest, I understand, is a
about
gem.
somebody holding it in their hand, and if they're splaying their cards out in their hand like that, they'll be able to see those symbols and say, okay, that's a quest, that's a recruit, that's a level up. You know what I mean? They'll be able to see
Yeah.
that symbol fairly clearly. That
But
was
with
that was
the-
my thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah, and I do like the idea that like when you're holding them, you can see that. But honestly, like I can see the top corner of a card and know that, oh, that's a gem. I know this is like it. The being a quest doesn't actually matter. When you see a gem, it could just say, hey, this is a gem. Bring it back to the capital.
Right.
This is a recruit. Gain a party member. Level up a player. Like you could just have a giant level up. Yeah, I think identifying what kind of quest it is redundant and confusing. But
Okay. Oh, I thought that was helpful. But okay, sure. I get it.
because I think because it's like the leveling up. So I actually have 2 character cards. This is one that is a good example of why this might not work as well. But I have these 2 characters, and the reward is the character, right? Or is this reward leveling up this character?
Yeah, I had concerns about that being not clear.
Okay.
Like, you know,
In this way, what I would even do is just, this is an awesome icon. I would throw this icon right over the character as like an opaque or something, or make the character more opaque and just have the icon in front of it. And then this one have the character, and just have the character. Don't even have the recruit thing. So then I know, oh, okay, this is not a recruiting character. This is a leveling up card for this character. So for me right now, this character is actually like this card does. I don't really care other than the item. The item's great, cool. Like I can throw that item on, which I actually really like. That makes this decision making for me, especially early game, very easy. Okay, I don't need to level this character up. I have this card. It's an easy thing to throw into my inventory so that I know I can have that. So I actually really like that. But just identifying, oh, hey, this is a level up, toss that level up icon right over this, and then the recruit, you just have the person there, and it's like you get that. Because if you just have that language of you get this thing if you're on this spot when you spend these things, and then that communicates this whole thing very quickly.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll give that a try. A little bit of a triangle.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
This the market, I like the concept of the market. I do like the idea of how you like shift it down and reveal.
There has to be a lot of cards. Like I used to have like it's just that this is a game where you're really screwed if you don't have access to the correct cards that you need. So I needed to have a large market.
Gotcha.
So that there was always going to be a fair, and it needed to kind of rotate fairly quickly, regularly, so that there was always an opportunity for new cards to come up, so that people didn't get screwed. you know,
I
for
think
many years.
I think with some like table mat stuff, you could actually explain this very easily. It would just be like, here's your deck. Here's your first row. These are like clearance items, and then just on this side be like disposed items. And that's just where like, okay, put all clearance items if they end around, toss them into there, move your on like your sale items down to clearance, and then reveal 4 new sale items. And I think that like logic flow would be just a simple way of explaining this visual. And because I think mechanically I understand why you've done it the way you have, because that makes a lot of sense. And then just like, woo.
Yeah, I could easily do that with a mat.
Yeah.
Board or like a market board or whatever.
One other thing that you're trying to communicate that's a little hard, and you've kind of, I think you've kind of done it with this a little bit. I don't think this has achieved the explanation that you're looking for. This like a dial here. But the it cost 1+ for each distance away. If it's your color, it's -1.
Well, it's the color that the location you're on.
Yeah. So all items are 1. If it's your color and you're on your own color, it's -1. And then if it's not your color, it's a +1, so it costs 2. I'm trying to think of, or is it's just 1? But if it's one away from,
it's 1 gold per step away, per step farther farther away, right?
Oh yeah, because this is specifically for the market. So yeah, so like if I'm grabbing a red and I'm in the green as a green,
it's the most expensive it could be.
Correct.
Because it's the opposite, right? It's the complementary color, right? So the complementary color is always going to be the most expensive.
It's a clever way to price your items. I really like that. I don't know how to communicate that more clearly. I think I don't think you've achieved that communication. I know you haven't really tried that yet. It's a little earlier.
Yeah, because I only just did the map thing, because I don't know if you actually remember the playtest, but I used to have tiles. Part of the game was building a map. While you kind of put tiles on. One of the things that you could do as an action is put a tile on to reveal a new location or whatever. But that just made the game, again, that was another thing that made the game too long, because you could have all the stuff you needed to play a card, but that certain location hadn't come out yet. Right, and then you're screwed until that location could come out, and so on. So I just decided, forget about the tile laying aspect of the game. That's too much. I'm just going to make a simple map. Obviously, this map would look more like a medieval sort of landscape with castles and winding roads and forests and mountains and things at some point, right? But
yeah, and that I'm not too worried right now. You're just communicating the idea.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think threw Stu and I a little bit confused is the center part is not separated. I think the way you have it designed right now it feels very separated. This is all one space. I would blend the edges together so it feels a little bit more like this is a one space, just like these are, but this is like a multicolored space. Which will always be your color. I think you could just do like a gradient or something. Like, I hate gradients, but like some form of way to make this look just more like
not
one giant space.
Well, like not a thick black line.
Yeah. That'll help too. That's just a visual thing that would help a lot. And these aren't major things. I know like you're just setting this up for the gameplay, but I think that'll help a lot with playtesting, just so that people can understand, so they're not getting caught up on understanding what you're trying to, the actual like visuals of the game, and they can actually focus more on the strategy. I like half the time I spent just trying to comprehend what visuals I was looking at, and I wasn't really putting as much energy into understanding how to optimize my strategy per se. But once I understood, like, oh, okay, you have to have these things to make this, but there's like so many like little caveats. It's like, okay, you have to have this item, you have to this item, you have to be on this space, and then you also have to be holding the item. You play the item only if you haven't done anything else yet, or not only, but like only when like you've either moved or not done anything.
Yeah, well, it's not like it's the only game that does that kind of thing.
I just think there's a lot of steps. I think like a rule flow would help, or not like a rule flow, but like a turn flow. Just stating like, hey, do you have like almost like force the player to decide when they do that item, and if they can't do it, then just be like, you know what, pass it up. That's fine. You can't do this. I think that would help with speeding up like turn play. And then like, yeah, so like these at any time during your turn, you may collect or sell an item. I would say like,
maybe that's at the top of the thing instead of,
or like when like I don't know, like at the beginning or end of your turn, you may buy or sell items, because then that like encompasses like the movement.
But you could do it you could do it in between, right? So you could move and then buy a card and then equip that card.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a nice way to give the players that agency, but also make it so it's pretty clear. Like, you've done a good job at explaining like anytime you can sell it or buy an item, but I'm always like, I'm concerned if I'm not doing that. Like the move, equipped, and play card, pick two of these three, is very clear. And then at any time, that's like very overwhelming. I'm like, when do I need can I do this now? Can I not do this? And then remembering if I did or did not also throws me.
Yeah, I get it.
Overall, the actual game that you're building is really cool. I like the as you said, the flow is a lot faster now. Like, I felt like I achieved something in this playtest. I was able to both equip 2 items. I was able to get some gold, and then I failed to play this, but I think
you could have played that, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, and that's in essentially 2 turns, right? So whereas it would have taken forever in the previous version, so I think that's a plus there. I'm definitely moving in the right direction. That's for sure. And because there used to be a choice of 3 different actions that you could do per card, and I simplified it down to 1. Which I think it makes a big difference.
With the actual cleric card, or the actual player card, the bag is still throwing me. Is that so? That's how many items I can hold right now. I would be at maxed items. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of items beyond the what you come with, essentially. I'll have to reduce that though. I think 3 and 4 and 5 are too much. Because there used to be cards with 2 symbols on them, like these item cards. There used to be ones with 2 symbols on them, so I had the bags fairly big because I wanted to be able to do that. But I'm going to reduce those numbers, I think, down to 2, 3, and 4.
I would almost make this match kind of what these items cards look like, with having your 2 items at the top, and then maybe even having like a little bag icon that says like 3 or 2. this game probably could, like, everybody could just have a max like item size of 2. You can like get items that increases that size, but by default you just have 2. I'm not sure mechanically if that's too static, but just simplifying that down so I'm not like, wait,
it's
why
just
does
at level 2 you could get you can hold one more. Like each level you should be able to improve.
Yeah.
You know how many things you can carry and stuff. I think.
Yeah. With the art here, and then maybe the description of down here. So yeah, like having these 2 items align with the top parts of the other ones would allow me just to see everything, because right now it feels very much like I have 3 items and I kind of forget that the cleric is like, oh yeah, I have a 4th item that's either or.
Yeah, I'd have to find a way to show the what the level is, right? That one, but
with the, is there any scenario where I'm going to actually be able to utilize both of these at the same time? Like, I know
if you have a level 2.
Oh,
basically,
okay. So if I was a level,
the level 2 gets rid of the slash.
Okay. So
right?
it changes from an slash to an and.
Yeah.
Or an or to an and, I guess.
And then well, it's just the level 2, right? It just shows both symbols without the slash, and then the level 3, you actually get 3 symbols.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And the 3 symbols are different for each level 3 cleric has that 3rd symbol is different.
Yeah, it's like an A or B. This is A and B.
And B, yeah. And then this is A B and C.
Yeah. Okay. Adventure gold. Gold, did we get 1 gold per turn? Or
no.
Oh, okay.
We started the game with 3.
Is there a scenario you can run out of gold? Like,
I did. I don't have any gold.
Is there a way to recoup gold if you don't have any items in your hand?
If you don't have any items, well, you'd have to go to a place like you'd have to get an item for free, essentially.
Gotcha.
And then sell it.
Yeah, the gold economy seems okay. I haven't seen what it looks like higher level, but otherwise it seems very good. As
time goes on or whatever, we'll see how it works or whatever.
But 1 per character level. And this is end game states, like end game points.
Yeah.
And what's the like end game? Like what ends the game?
That with this, you know what? That's something that I didn't even think of with this new, because it used to be sort of when the landscape was built, all the tiles were used up. But so I haven't actually come up with an end game state for this particular version of the game yet. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out as time goes on. Maybe, I don't know if it's because it can't be something like somebody gets 6. I think I had at one time. It was like, somebody has X number of amount of gold, or somebody has X amount of like character points, like character levels, kind of thing. Like,
well, you don't necessarily want someone to get to level 3 and then be able to say like, "Yay, I got to level 3 and I win the game." Like, you never get to play as a level 3 character.
You wouldn't win the game that way. But theoretically, like, and it wouldn't be, because it would be something like, for instance, if it's just I'm just pulling say 8, right? You could have 4 characters of level 2, which would be 8. You could have 5 characters of level 1 and 1 character of level 3, which would be 8. You know what I mean? That would be 8. Somebody gets to 8 character levels somehow. That's one way I had previously in the previous version of the game. Had or whatever the number is, 6 or 8 or 7, whatever makes sense.
So because this is a very D&D feeling adventure, where you are building like a crew, one idea that you could utilize is say you get one character, yeah, like when one of your units or one of your characters achieves level 4, they're challenged. Your whole party is challenged by something. And that could be a incredibly difficult quest, that could be a boss fight, like whatever you want to like mix. It doesn't have to be super complicated. I would utilize all of the mechanics that you've taught through the game in this kind of end state, being like, hey, you have to have this amount of gems or this certain collection of gems, or you have to go and collect these gems. You have to have at least one bard or something in your crew, and then you also have to have some very specific scenario. So when I achieve like a level 4 character, or I try to attempt to level up to level 4, that instead of leveling me up, it gives me a end game card.
Yeah, that would have to be it.
And then if I achieve that end game card, that's how I win. So everybody knows that I am trying to end the game, and I'm at like the final boss per se, and I have my crew, but I can't do anything else. Like there might be a limitation of like, oh, you can't go and level up, like you can't do any other quests, you can't do any more recruiting, you have to fight, or you have to attempt to get your quest, and you're just kind of stuck there until. So if you prematurely do it too early, you're gonna screw yourself over, and it's gonna take you a lot longer if you're not efficient. But if you do it too late, someone else might obviously snag the win.
It could be like 4 of those or something like that. And it would still basically, but completing that, like somebody completing that ends the game, and it gives them X number of points, but you still calculate all the other points to find out who actually wins the game.
You could do that. That's definitely like, I would add that almost as like an extended play or like an extended way to win. Because at that point it's such a struggle to get to that end state. I feel like this would be really frustrating if I've succeeded the boss and then I get screwed over because I just didn't collect as much gold as someone else. I'd be like, oh, that sucks. Like in that case, this would be your achievement system, because what that could do is you could utilize the main thing this is communicating, or this is actually describing, is a way to win, or a way to overcome someone else with a goal. So if you have 4 goal items that are presented, like, hey, have 10 gold, have 3 yellow, 1 blue, and 1 orange, and then also have like 2 fighters and 1 thief, that could be presented to everybody, and you could be going for that goal, but you have to achieve that goal. Like you have to get that card before someone else can, and you have to complete the quest when you get one of your characters to level 4. And the only way to do that, like you could do it, like you could snag that like right off the bat, like you could just level up one of your characters to level 4, but obviously you need 2 more characters in your party to complete that quest. So I have to go and get 2 more of my characters up to a level, like a minimum of level 2, and then I can snag that card. I can't snag it before because I can't even activate that quest until like I have one character that's a level 3, which is already a feat in itself.
Yeah.
But it would give a really satisfying end state to your game.
Yeah. These are kind of boring. Just having majority, of stuff, whatever. But yeah, something like that, or kind of, like you said, you need to have not just, some items. You have to have a certain number of items and characters. Like it'll be like you have to have this stuff. It'll still essentially the same mechanics.
Yeah.
To do this thing, you have to have, these things.
But it feels a lot more personable, because it's like I saw that from the beginning of the game, and I tried to go for it and I achieved it, or someone snagged it, and that hurts really bad, so I have to shift my game plan really quick and go to something else. What you're essentially doing is throughout the whole game you're building up this like learning style of like, oh, I'm learning about these different characters, I'm learning about the different gems and items I can purchase, I'm learning about how to interact with other players and how to optimize my sales and stuff. And then the final boss is utilizing what you've learned through the whole game by receiving a challenge essentially that makes you do one of all of these, or like maybe you're presented 3 different cards and you get to pick one of those challenges, and then that's what you have to complete as your level 4 like requirement. And when you complete that, that's how you win the game. But you don't even get to see that until you hit level 4, so that you're not like you're not overwhelmed with like, oh, I'm going to just focus on getting like gold, like red diamonds or something, or like the rubies and sapphires. It makes you a little bit more cautious instead of just gunning for one thing, because that also is a problem. You don't want someone to see at the very beginning of the game like, oh, I'm just going to get 10 gold, I'm going to get my archer, I'm going to get my ranger, I'm going to get 1 blue gem. I win the game as soon as I get my 4th item. No, you want to build your team up, prepare for this epic quest, and then finally, right as you reveal that epic quest, that's when the big punch happens, and you're like, oh shoot, I got way too many clerics on my team. I need 2 more rangers. I'm gonna have to figure out how to solve this before anybody else gets to their level 4.
Well, so you're saying don't reveal them at the beginning of the game. Don't
Yeah,
reveal the boss
like
battles at the
you can like
beginning.
skim through them, but you're gonna be presented with 3 when you hit that level 4, and that's when you have to choose. And you can pick the one that like you feel more confident, but it doesn't allow the player to hyper focus on one thing the entire game and forget about the rest of the game. It forces them to play the rest of the game, gets to that state, kind of prepare for any situation that can handle, but maybe they might focus a little bit more in the market. So when they get those 3 options, they'll pick the one that's more about the market collection items, and they'll pick like, oh yeah, this one has 5 gold like or 5 ruby requirements, but only 1 person requirement. I spent all my time getting rubies, so I have a bunch of rubies. I'm gonna focus on this, but I still have to buff up my my like rangers or something, you know.
Yeah.
Or I have to buff up my gold because I didn't focus on that as much because I spent it all getting the rubies.
Yeah, because so it could be essentially the same thing as what I'm trying to do here with these majorities, but just a little bit more of a, you know, one quest or boss battle or whatever you want to call it would be focused on gold, but have other requirements, and one would be about items, but also have other requirements and so forth. One would be about gems,
and then the end game isn't, oh, I got 4 points, you got 10 points. It's, oh, I achieved this thing. Like I was the one who got the most like market, and I had the coolest team, and it just happened to be all rangers this game. I got all rangers and I got all rubies, so I was the red team, and it still is doing the same thing that this is. Like I could still do all a ruby team, but it just like it communicates, or it tells a story a little bit different than ending with, oh, I have a number, I beat your number. It's, oh, I somehow got lucky and got the red things that I needed over you, even though it's the same end state that this is actually doing. It just makes the player feel like they've earned it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, it's just a matter of, like you said, how do you kind of show people what they need to work towards without blatantly giving them the exact thing that they, you know, I mean, because you could have those quest cards just lined up, and that's what is there, and everybody can start working towards one of them and see what happens or whatever, you know, but or they can be revealed at a certain point in the game.
Because there's another indie game I was playing that someone presented, and they had a system where there's 4, like there's always a goal on the field, like of something you're trying to achieve, and they get replaced as you achieve them, and the winner is the person who, the game ends when one player has 3 of those goals, and those goals each have different values. The problem is even though I got 3 of, like I ended the game, I got all the 1 point goals.
Level ones, yeah.
There was one guy who got a level 6 and just like annihilated me, and I was like, I can't. You got all the level 6 items, or you got the one level 6 card. I can't come back. I mean, I could, but I don't want to, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It felt more focused on the micromanagement of how to end the game versus actually enjoying the game state.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, because like I don't want to have that in the back of my mind the entire game. That's like oh cool, okay, I'm at the end. I have all the equipment I need to succeed, because your game is very much about building a team, giving them the equipment, and then what do they do? Because it's like you've built this whole thing up. What do they do when they have?
Yeah, it's like there's something missing, eh?
Yeah. And I think that final quest or boss fight would really encapsulate the story you're telling, that
it would make, and
climax.
it would definitely give it that more put a nice period at the end of to say this is like a D&D thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And one of the things that I think this actually encapsulates what I was saying very clearly is I am very much a person, like this isn't written in my mission statement, is it's about the journey, not the destination. And if you put the destination at the very beginning, people forget about enjoying the journey. So if you force people to enjoy the journey, and then when they get to the destination, that's when they actually realize there's another journey, and that's when they focus on the real destination. But building up that journey is always a fun element, and you have everything in play.
I'm thinking that a simple way of integrating those sort of larger quests or whatever, and I kind of like the idea of, and maybe it's like the game ending ones come out later, so there's a small stack of kind of quests, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you deal X number of them, whether it's 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever. And at the top of the deck, it's like fairly easy ones,
mm-hmm.
right? And you can do those as part of your play a card action. So instead of playing a card from your hand, you can go and complete one of the quests.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of playing a card from your hand, so it becomes part of the play a card action. So it's integrated. It's not an extra step. It's not something that has to happen because of one thing or another or whatever. But then at some point, then the ones that if somebody completes it will end the game. It comes in. So all these earlier ones maybe gets you a card, or it gets you some gold, or it gets you a gem, or it gets you, you know what I mean. But then the later ones, if you win, you win the game or whatever if you complete this really complicated one. But it's simply just, on your turn you can choose to play a card. I'm going to play one of these quests, and here it is. I'm playing it now, and I've completed it, and I'm done, kind of thing. Or you could play it and then work towards, now I've equipped my last thing, my quest is complete, kind of thing. But it's the play a card action. However it all works out. I'm thinking that it's the play a card action that I use to trigger those things, so that it's not something new. It's not a new thing that you have to do. There's no different trigger than what you're already used to playing.
Mm-hmm.
That might work. Yeah, I'm liking this idea. I like that, integrating that the what you call the boss fight, or the larger quest, or the final quest, or whatever. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to have to think on that. How I want to do that. It's good. It's a great idea. I think that'll cap the game up, because I'm really liking how the game is looking right now, or the direction is going, or whatever. And I think that'll really be the icing on the cake, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like mechanically, like the pieces, you have the puzzle pieces. I think it's just finding how to slot them into place, and and then communicating that information to people
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I'm kind of psyched about it, actually. Cool. Well, thanks for playing, guys. I really appreciate it. Sue, you have anything to say?
I can't think of anything that Alex hasn't already said. So
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay. Well, I think it's time for me to sign off. So thanks a lot again for all your help, and we'll talk again soon.
Yep. Thank you for having us.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Hey there.
Yeah. I'm
Sorry
here.
for taking over there.
No, you're
just
good.
was-
I'm pretty sure that most of the people don't actually value my opinions at this point, anyways.
I would disagree.
I mean,
think
I wouldn't. More often than not, whenever never mind. I don't want to start turning into a pessimist. Point is, we got the test